Cone here, and today I will be sharing with you my opinion on the Vampire Counts rework. The Vampire Counts were among my favorite factions to play in Warhammer 2 due to their unique playstyle. They allowed for the recruitment of free armies consisting of a mix of mostly skeletons and a few powerful units, with the main damage output coming from lords and heroes. This approach felt true to the lore and provided an enjoyable experience. The campaign mainly focused on enhancing the combat prowess, leadership and spellcasting ability of lords and heroes. Achieving this required trait farming, collecting defeated legendary lord traits, and boosting hero recruit rank. My armies typically comprised of skeletons, a lord, and a handful of heroes. The lord to deal damage, while heroes contributed to keeping the army alive, or, well, its equivalent in terms of undead. These armies weren't invincible, and victory depended on how well you could use your elite units. Contrary to some opinions, this strategy demanded careful considerations, since you had to rely only on a few units to secure victories, rather than relying on an entire army. However, the rework for Warhammer 3 has significantly altered this dynamic, and not necessarily for the better. While Warhammer 2 required precise execution in battles, Warhammer 3 just needs you to spam out zombies. The technologies that previously provided free upkeep for zombies and skeletons were replaced with 35% and 25% upkeep reduction. Skeletons now have a disproportionate upkeep cost due to their effectiveness in battle. In contrast, zombies received numerous buffs and remained cost effective even after fielding 50 armies. They gained significant improvements through technology, effectively becoming top tier units. Zombies also have lower balance of power values than skeletons, Graveguard, and most other high tier units. In combination with their low upkeep and the new upgrades they can get, they simply become the best performing unit in the Vampire Counts roster. And if you have access to Helm and Ghost, zombies potentially become the best unit in the game. This shift has turned the game from a demanding strategic experience into one where spamming zombies guarantees success. High tier units are no longer necessary for handling single entities or dealing damage, as zombies now excel in both roles. Additionally, the economic changes have transformed the Vampire Counts from a late game powerhouse into early game dominators. This design choice is puzzling, as the previous strategy in Warhammer 2 involved leveling lords and heroes before expanding territories. The early game was marked by resource scarcity, with the 15% upkeep cost increase per army, limiting army numbers. However, Warhammer 3 lets you start amassing armies right from the beginning, allowing for rapid expansion and more armies as you conquer new territories. While I appreciate this new playstyle and enjoy starting campaigns on a powerful note, it deviates significantly from the previous playstyle. Overall, I find myself in a bit of a dilemma regarding my feelings towards the Vampire Counts. On one hand, their campaign in Warhammer 3 is less interactive than in Warhammer 2. On the other, it offers a fresh perspective on an established faction. And while I prefer the previous playstyle, I can't deny enjoying the new approach. Nevertheless, I believe the faction could benefit from unit adjustments that make other options more appealing, rather than repeatedly nerfing units. Additionally, expanding build options for settlements would enhance the gameplay experience. Currently, settlement development feels limited, especially in minor settlements where only 2 infrastructure building make the settlement feel complete. Heroes capacity increasing at only a tier 4 can be frustrating, and reintroducing the hero capacity increase from lord skills, similar to how it was in Warhammer 2, would be a welcome addition. even if positioned towards the end of the skill tree. These are my thoughts on the Vampire Count rework. I'm curious about your perspective. Did you prefer the faction's previous iteration, or do you enjoy the new version as well? If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing. Thank you for watching, and until next time.